Hello beautiful people and welcome back to another Cozy Cora video. Today we are talking about bugs. If you are squeamish, please consider watching any of my other videos that are not talking about bugs. For those who stayed, you're my favorite. Today I will treat you to some fun facts about a couple of creepy crawlies. My focus today was going to be on every bug that looks ant adjacent. I was going to talk about spiders, beetles, and wasps, but I had way too much fun and the script was like 5 hours long, so for today we are sticking to velvet ants. Velvet ants are a kind of wasp in the Mutilidae family, which consists of over 7,000 species. Velvet ants are not intentionally trying to mimic ants, as far as we know. Unlike spiders and beetles, wasps just happen to naturally look like ants because they are in the same order, called Hymenoptera. Mutilidae are different from other wasps though. Their females are wingless and their bodies are furry. So all those body segments that otherwise would give away that they're not ants are covered. Males and females live very different lifestyles. Males can fly and look very similar to normal wasps, while the females are flightless. Although the hair is very useful for hiding their wasp features, in my opinion, the most ant-looking wasp is Myrmosa atara, or Atara if you want to be really American. They don't have any hair.
She's bald and she's torturing people who have hair,
which exposes their wasp features, but ants don't have hair either. So, in my opinion, this is the most ant-looking velvet ant, even though it's not part of the Mutilidae family because of the lack of hair. These wasps are Palearctic, which means that they live on the top half of the equator. Their family name, Myrmocidae, comes from myr, which is the Latin word for ant, and also the Swedish word for ant. And they're still in the same superfamily as Mutilidae. They're kleptoparasites in phosphoral bee nests, meaning that they steal food and other resources from underground bees. Myrmosa atara can be found throughout England and Wales, including the Isle of Man, but they have not been found in Scotland. Yet, at least. Alright, let's get back to velvet ants. They don't build nests like bees or ants. Instead, the females spend most of their life wandering around on the ground looking for insects' homes to break into. They find a nest, usually for bees or wasps, and live as kleptoparasites there too, meaning that they lay eggs inside their nest and use the other bugs' resources to feed their own larvae. There are velvet ants on almost every continent, just except Antarctica. And every region has different looking velvet ants. Starting with Archaeototila, which is the only known of its species. Archaeoticeps, which is only found in Africa. Well, at least I think that it's the only species, because recently I found one by the name of non-veiler, but to me they look like the exact same pictures of the exact same species, so I'm not sure if these are two names for the same species or two separate things. You can let me know in the comments if you know more, but I'm kind of stumped in that one. In America, velvet ants are also called cowkiller wasps due to their insanely painful sting. This brings us to the most well-known genus that I'm going to be talking about. Daisymutilla. Occidentalis is what you first think of when you hear velvet ants. They have long bodies with red and black fur. Meanwhile, Klugi is the one with the real killer sting, rated a 3 on the Schmidt Pain Index, where the pain can last up to 30 minutes. However, the sting of the bullet ant is still more painful, and despite the painful sting, it's not as venomous as your typical honeybee. The genus isn't really known to be aggressive either, so the name cow killer wasp is a bit extreme. Instead, when these little bugs get disturbed, they make a high-pitched squealing noise, which is actually identical to the noise that harvester ants make. Another notable species in this genus is Sakani, which is also called Saken's velvet ant. There's nothing really outstanding about them, but I just find that their pattern on their fur is very recognizable, and they mostly live in coastal San Diego. The Decilibris is a genus that can be identified by their 4 white spots on the behind. But just like Saken's velvet ant, these velvet ants are virtually the same as any other Mutilidae. Velvet ants are famously hard to kill. Their exoskeleton protects them from being crushed by predators. Their fur isn't just for looks either. It warns predators. Bright red, orange, and yellow means don't eat me in the animal kingdom, and the white spots of the Decilibris mimic eyes, which scares off predators that aren't really color-oriented. There is an evolutionary advantage of wearing the colors of something poisonous to warn the predators who would otherwise eat you. It's called aposematic coloration, and it's like nature's warning sign. But these wasps don't really need a warning sign. I mean, they're already venomous, and they squeal so loud they would scare away any predator already. Their defense is actually so successful that they don't have any natural predators, and can roam the world freely and invade any nest where they can lay their babies. Velvet ants also have quite long lifespans. They live as adults for months, which is pretty rare for insects of their size, especially ones that don't live in colonies. They spend most of their lifetime just walking around slowly because they're really not in a hurry. I mean, they're not running for anything, from anything, or towards anything. They're just roaming. Now that I've opened your eyes to the beautiful world of velvet ants, I'm sure you'll keep an eye out for them in your daily life. They're not really dangerous at all, they won't chase people, and they really don't sting them. But if you grab one, step on one, trap one, it has every right to defend itself, and it will. Remember that even though their sting isn't very venomous, it's still very, very painful. So please don't agitate them by swatting at them, or even if you're trying to be nice and pet their pretty fur, it's gonna make them very nervous. The best rule is always admire with your eyes and not with your hands. They're telling you they don't want to be touched, and you should respect that. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, night, or evening whenever you are watching this. Always remember that you are loved, and love your local bugs. Bye bye!